Pika, 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 pika. What's up, Squirtles? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Tonight we're talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. That's right. We're talking about Nintendo Switch 2 tonight. Plus another guy. Now, normally, I would slap some audio on here, but some of my videos get taken down for copyright music, even though I'm using open source music and credit the place that does the music. Sometimes it still flags me, which is rude AF. Excuse me. All right, tonight I have no idea what to stream because with Tears of the Kingdom out of commission, it's hard to know what to do. So I don't know what to do. But we are going to at least talk about Switch 2 pricing for a little while because I am like so over it. I am so over listening to people complain about Switch 2 pricing. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk Switch 2 pricing. Everyone and their mom seems to be mad about Switch 2 pricing, which I don't really get. I understand it's the new fad lately is to be angry at Nintendo because that's what all the cool kids do, I guess. But it's kind of wild when you think about it, especially in compared to other consoles. I have a lot of thoughts, and I've done a lot of reviewing things on the internet today to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 pricing mechanism. And so I'm going to go over a couple things that stand out to me. I'm going to talk about a couple other things in relation to some like Switch 2 complaints, and let's just go from there. So starting with the price point of the Switch 2, I'm genuinely shocked how many people are like upset about getting getting the device that we're getting with Switch 2 and genuinely being disgruntled that it is the price that it is. And part of why that's surprising to me is because we are getting a 420p machine, or not 420p. Oh well, maybe no. We're getting a 4K device that gives you some pretty stellar visuals. I don't know if any of you have actually went and watched some like hands-on journalism stuff with Switch 2. I'm sure there'll be some in here. I'm gonna mute the audio though, but like, I've seen some posts from journalists who have taken really nice, clean-looking images of the device in handheld mode. It doesn't look like this video actually has any. Go figure. I can never remember this guy's name. But I remember his video is Switch 2 asterisk. Let's take a look. Yeah. Marcus Brown. So he like has some footage of the actual device being like shot over the shoulder. And I gotta say, I'm like pleasantly surprised with like how crisp the image is looking. How I'm getting double ads. How rude. How stable the like FPS is, especially in handheld, because Switch handheld is quite the downgrade when compared to being dock mode. Like dock mode is barely the standard at like most games don't even truly do 1080p on. Yeah, I mean, look at how crisp that is. That's looking pretty dang smooth in handheld mode. Looks like it's 60 FPS to me personally. Yeah, I mean, this thing is looking pretty dang clean in here. And that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. I'm honestly shocked how many people are, and to be fair, I've seen very split things. Some people think 450 isn't that bad. I'm in that camp. I was thinking it was going to be about 400, about 450 to stay competitive with other consoles. But I've listened to a lot of like media who's gone in person, messed around with device, played several games in between tabletop and TV mode, and I've heard some people be like, "Oh, this game ran perfect," like Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I've heard some other people say, "It was a little choppy here and there." Though to be fair, we need to remember that when we go to these press events, we are using games that are not finished, not final, and probably are like an early build from 3 months back. So even when you're at like a press event, you're probably playing a more close to finished version than like the trailers we saw, but still, I mean, I don't know. I'm in the camp where I don't know how you get mad about a portable true HD gaming device like the Nintendo Switch with all the features built in, being able to do game chat in handheld or not, being able to utilize the technology it has handheld or not. It baffles me. I don't know what people are hoping for. Like the Nintendo Switch is still a $300 device 8 years later, even with its Switch-like counterpart and its Switch OLED counterpart, which is $350 with double the hard drive space. I'm not sure why 450 was such a like sticker shock for some people. 450 is not that bad. And I've seen some like comparison videos for like Street Fighter between like PS5 and Switch Pro. Granted, you can't do true comparison yet because nobody has their hands on a Switch 2, but there's some folks out there who are pretty tech savvy when it comes to video quality, being able to detect like what things are running at. And they're pretty blown away at how comparable it seems to be to like PlayStation 5 graphics. That's a pretty dang big deal. Yo, what's up, Gabby? That's a pretty dang big deal in my opinion. And give me 2 seconds. I'm actually gonna wrong one. I'm gonna take the group chat off the screen because I'm going to use this for an easy YouTube video. So to me, with I don't know. It's hard for me to understand why people are like bent out of shape about $450. Now, when this thing probably climbs thanks to tariffs to like 500, 550, I can get it at that point. Okay, I can get it at that point because we are looking at like PlayStation 5 Pro pricing at that point, and that I can understand. But 400, 450 is not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. And not to mention, you have the ability to do certain things. Like, you're going to be able to trade your Switch in towards buying a Switch 2. You're going to be able to probably still sell your Switch to somebody else. Like, there's ways to soften the blow of cost by just trading in devices. And if you're going to trade in your Switch, trade in your accessories. Like, there's going to be... I mean, that's a great way to just like swap out your gear for something new. Whether you go to GameStop or Rock 30 Games or you literally just resell over on eBay, you've got stuff. I mean, this thing has built-in chat, built-in game sharing, multi-room. I know they only showed like 4 people up here, but like there's a point where they showed 5 players. So like I am truly curious to know how many people we're really going to be able to do up here. I haven't seen or heard anything specifically, but like, come on. I don't think Switch 2 pricing is that bad. I don't even think its accessory pricing is that bad. Nor do I think its game pricing is that bad, honestly. Like, I've got a lot of feelings about the regular amount of hatred that Nintendo gets from people. Like, people seem to hate on Nintendo like it's a club. Like, it's super fun to do. It's so cool to hate things. And, like, they just I think some people grab onto, like, the tiniest of straws. And so I have a couple plans here. We're going to look at Switch 1 accessory gear today versus Switch 2 accessory gear. And the reason why we're doing that is because Switch 1 eventually will phase out and Switch 2 will replace it in the marketplace. We're going to look at it what it is today and what Switch 2 accessories are going to be looking at, as well as what PlayStation 5 accessories are. Because people seem to forget that Sony is the Apple of gaming and charges you a ridiculous amount of money for stuff that isn't necessarily that fantastic. Now, I don't know how you want to look at it per se. I'm never impressed by Sony's ability to do rumble controllers. Nintendo, on the other hand, its HD rumble on the Switch is pretty impressive because they've showed off HD rumble. It's just people don't utilize it other than Nintendo. So it is tech that's there, but Sony doesn't really do much with its own tech. So let me jump in before I go on some different tangents. So we're going to start with just Switch accessory pricing. I pulled up the Switch accessory page over on Best Buy. I know this isn't the definitive place to go. You can pick up stuff from Rock30, GameStop, Walmart, literally anywhere. These things are worth shopping around for because you can always find sales. And you can sometimes find cheaper deals in other places. In fact, if you just Google Nintendo Switch Pro controller, you have variable pricing all across the board. But we are going to literally just, I mean, like, here's Nintendo's, here's Amazon, you know, about $14 less. I saw a couple sales before too, and so variable pricing, right? So you can take a look, and you should shop for these. But in general, the MSRP value that's still here, $70, $70, $80, and a variety of colors that you can choose from. A regular carrying case with a screen protector, $20. Granted, this is for just the Switch, not the OLED. $80. Zelda themed. There must be a sale because it wants me to look at the price in the cart. $30 for an extra whatever this is, charger. Where is, yeah, so this is not first party. I was trying to find as much first party gear as I could find, and I didn't quite find it. But here's a Nintendo Switch 1 $40 sort of all-in-one case, which is what I was trying to find items that are comparable. So like if we scroll back up, we've got the Pro Controller, $70, right? Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, Pro Controller, $80. Now, what's so much different between this controller than the other one? Well, the big one is that it's got extra buttons on the back. Other than stuff like it has HD Rumble 2, which they didn't exactly explain, but I assume it's just better. But the bigger one is it has extra buttons and it has like audio technology, which the normal Pro Controller does not have. Otherwise, it still does everything else. Now, I didn't see anything specifically if it says this audio jack allows you to do microphone or if it's pure audio, but I assume it's just audio. Joy-Cons, $90. It's $10 more than the already $80 Joy-Cons. Eventually, they'll come out with colors. This has better technology in it than the current Switch. This doesn't use the Hall effect joysticks that are currently in the Switch, which I just learned today use some sort of magnetic field following, and they go back to a more standard like windshield wiper sliding technology. The thing is when you use controllers, they eventually all wear out, but Hall effect is supposed to theoretically last longer, and as we saw with the Switch, that wasn't really the case. They fell out of alignment pretty quickly, but new magnet technology and steel instead of just plastic rail system, bigger controllers, meaning larger production cost, newer rumble features inside of it, much better wrist straps, and these wrist straps also function as like the bottom of a mouse with the like track thing, whatever you want to call it. Of course, these are going to cost more. It's $10 more. Why do I keep harping? Why am I doing comparative pricing of like, oh, this is 10, oh, this is 80, right? Like each one of these is like $10 more, $10 more. Why are we doing that? Because at some point, Switch 1 gear is going to phase out, and Switch 2 will literally just replace its older sibling in the marketplace. We are looking at a $10 increase for bigger equipment, better technology, newer technology. $10 ain't that serious. Also, for the record, you don't have to go buy this at launch. You don't. You don't have to buy a second. Like, why are we mad about this? You don't have to go buy a second set of Joy-Cons, dude. You do not have to do that. Unless you're like rocking a family where you all play Mario Kart and then you need a bunch of Joy-Cons, then yeah, I guess this is a like problem pricing. But again, I stand by what I said like 3 seconds ago. Better straps. I mean, the strap quality doesn't necessarily look any better, but like these are better. Plus, it's got the mouse tech on it. The mouse tech inside of it. The new rumble features inside of here. Bigger controllers. Come on now. It's not that serious. Now, this one's interesting. I don't think this one's that much different. Let me go back to the list. I don't know if I actually saw one of these in here. I'm pretty sure there is a charging grip. Pretty sure there is one, but I don't know if Best Buy is carrying one. Yeah, that's a Switch 2 one. That's no from me. I know one exists. I'm pretty sure one launched. Nintendo Switch Joy-Con grip charger. Is this it, or is this Switch 2? It looks just like Switch 2. Yeah, so here's Nintendo Switch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got this one. Sorry. I got these. Okay, yeah, here it is. So there's a connector that you can plug into to literally charge them while you're using them. But it doesn't tell me the price here. And I wish it would. This came out in 2018. But it doesn't tell me where to buy them. Yo, shout outs to Link Pokemon. I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Welcome to this. Welcome to the stream. We're talking Nintendo Switch 2 pricing here today, and we're comparing accessories as well to get a realistic idea of things that are going to be replacing the marketplace with old technology versus new technology. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't tell me the price. I mean, none of this tells me the price, right? But we know that it's $80. So where do I even find this? Joy-Con charging grip. Okay, $40. This is $40 straight from Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. $40. Yo, what's up, Link Pokemon? Hope you're having a good day, buddy. And then what did it say for Switch 2? Isn't it cheaper? $5 less. Not only is it $5 less, but this also comes with the new buttons. So, I don't know. Only 2 in stock. I don't want to hear it. Like, this is $5 less than the Switch 1 counterpart, okay? Let's compare next. I'm doing pretty good, Link Pokemon. How are you doing, buddy? Let's keep going. Down the list. Joy-Con straps, which... I don't know why we would buy these, honestly. I don't know why. Do they even sell Joy-Con straps? I've literally never ever thought. Okay, look, they're $16, dude. Or $3 at GameStop. Why are they so much more expensive on Amazon? That's what competitive pricing. Go take a look, all right? But I guess I'll go with this one. Oh, see, used, brand new, $17 from Nintendo. Okay, $17. Do I get charged a price different? Red is less than gray. All right, well, Nintendo hates red. They charge you less for it. So look at that, $16. What is it on Switch 2? $13. Shut up. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Though, honestly, I don't know why we're buying extra Joy-Con straps, truly. But I guess if you need them, there you go. Joy-Con wheel. This one, I'm interested to know. This is an official Nintendo one. I would love to know if Nintendo has an official wheel. I think they do. I think they do. Yeah, they do, because I have it. $20. More bucks on Amazon. Like, this is the official Nintendo brand, right? These are the ones that I have. $20. How much are they for Switch 2? $20. That's what I'm saying, dude. Look at this. It's not that serious. If you're going to buy a Switch 2 and you have a Switch, take it to GameStop. Take it to Rock 30. Trade in your, like, upload all your stuff to the cloud that you can. Trade in your stuff. Get some in-store credit. Keep it. Buy your Switch 2 when it comes out. Replace your gear. It's not that serious. $50. I'm not buying this day one. Maybe I'll buy another one. Though I heard that there was a second version of this. I think I don't know if it was real or not, but I thought I saw a Piranha Plant version of a Switch 2 camera. But it's not on the Nintendo website. So that seems silly. Okay, let's look at docks. I didn't actually pull up a dock. Nintendo Switch dock. This is on eBay. That doesn't count. How much is the upgrade packs, like, to the Switch 2 edition? The pricing for this actually came out today, I think. I just want to make sure I know what your question is about. Is this just the dock? Nothing else? Sir, I need Nintendo Switch 1 items. I tell you what, though. If I knew for a fact we weren't getting multiple Switch 2s in my house, I would buy one of these. But I know for a fact we're getting multiple Switch 2s in my house eventually. We're going to try to get 2 at launch, one for me, one for Rosh, but it's going to depend on how much it costs. Come on now, where's your dock? It's got to be in here somewhere. Sephiroth. Why am I in amiibos? I needed dogs. Sounds like I said I need dogs. Woof. Oh my gosh, I'm not looking for amiibos. I'm looking for Nintendo Switch dogs, dude. Oh my gosh, why can't you just show me the dogs? Why can't you show me the Nintendo? There, thank you. Gosh, that's what I wanted from the very beginning. $50 refurbished. $70 OLED. Does this come with gear, though? Refurbishes don't count. We don't count them. Does this come with any plugins? I'm asking because it matters. I mean, they don't show any pictures, so I feel like the answer is no. Shopping. Oh, maybe it does though. So, okay, we'll say the dock set is $60. The new dock set, I bet it'll be $700. Link Pokemon. What for the upgrade packs? Are you talking about like upgrading Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom to Switch 2 edition, or are you talking about something different? I just want to make sure I understand your question correctly. Yes, it's $10. So upgrading to the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom is a one-time $10 transaction. Or if you already pay for the Nintendo Switch expansion pass, which I do, included. So $20 value included into your Nintendo Switch expansion pass. It's $0 if you already have it, which I already do. So $0 to me. Otherwise, $10 to anybody else. Okay, so Nintendo Switch docks are $60 to $70 depending on where you buy them. Now, the Switch 2 dock is an extra $50 to $40 depending on where you go. Why does this matter though? There's quite a bit of different tech happening here. The Switch 2 being in its dock allows it to output on the TV at 4K, should you have 4K. There's also actual cooling happening inside of the Switch 2 this time. Well, I say I have some Streamlabs reward, but it doesn't bother to tell me what the reward is. So I don't know what it is. Oh, did Paunch resubscribe to me? Thanks, Paunch, but that's not my alert. That might be... Okay, I might have to mess with that. Twitch likes to mess around with my settings. And I'm not a fan. But that looked like it was Streamlabs. So let me log into my Streamlabs quick. Because I'm supposed to have a Tears of the Kingdom / Breath of the Wild themed subscriber button. And that was not it. Subscriptions. Preview. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Why did it do it the other way?
I'm getting the Switch too.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate that. Okay, let's get back to what we're talking about though. So let's pull up a YouTube video here real quick. I'll show it to you guys. Oh, if I could spell Nintendo, I spelled Nintendo. GG me. So let's look at this here really quick. Again, I'm going to keep it muted. So yeah, this screen is 0.9 inch bigger. The Switch can do up to 120 FPS. Oh yeah, it does do DLSR. It has higher fidelity. We went over some of the tech that's inside of the Joy-Cons with the steel buttons, everything being bigger. Oh, this is honestly incredible too. Like, this is part of why I'm just like shocked by anyone who's upset by the price. This thing has a built-in microphone that also has a built-in natural noise reduction, both from your environment and the game itself. So even if you're playing on TV, it does this. It also does 3D audio if you have a surround sound system or if you plug in. Yeah, we got multiple USB ports. That's cool. Here we go. This is what I wanted to look at. So I'm just leaving the audio off. But the thing about the Switch 2 dock is not only does it have some of the stuff we're already used to, but it does 4K support. So the Switch 2 will output into 4K if your TV can support it. This all looks normal, except that inside of it is now a fan cooler that helps cool down your TV. Look, this not only does this do full HD, it does 1440 as well. There's actually tech inside of it to help keep your system cool now when you're doing that 4K output. So this isn't just a regular old pass-through plastic dock like we had with the Nintendo Switch, which is why that's a $50 to $60 dock, and this is a $110 dock. It's because there's a lot more happening inside of it, and that's why we're seeing a higher price tag, which that's why we justify that price. It's not a big deal. Very cool. Let me back up a little bit. I wanted to look at. See, look, this also has RGB range and dock output information, and it does HDR in handheld and output. See, look, there's all this like venting going on here. Okay, I want to look at this again. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. I wonder if those are padded at all. They might not be, but they could be. I'm hoping that these are like actually padded, because that was one of the problem with Switch 1 is that a lot of people put their Switch away in the dock like a Neanderthal, and it would end up scratching the screen. Yeah, this kind of looks plastic though, but I hope it's more foam. But it looks like it feels what I assume is here.
I bought all of the Zelda games that can be used on the Switch too.
You bought all the Zelda games that can be used on the Switch too. Well, all the Zelda games should be able to work on the Switch too. So whatever Zelda game you already own should be good to go. Okay. I was trying to look at USB ports. So we've got, okay, there's no USB ports in here. So it's just AC adapter, HDMI, and LAN, which I think is what it is now. Oh, okay, so there's still 2 USBs on the front. Can set whatever you want. 4K, 1080p. Man, ventilation. This is going to be good. I'm like psyched for this. I think it's great that there is cooling going on inside of here, which should help keep the Switch feeling cool. Which I want to go back. I want to go back and just look at this picture here. I want to see if we can see a little more inside. Nah, so the fan's going to be in here. But it feels like there should be some sort of output system here or somewhere for the air to like flow into it. So there's got to be some kind of airflow coming in or out around here. How loud is it going to be? I mean, I would say it's going to be... the Nintendo Switch itself gets pretty noisy when it has to cool itself down. It's a pretty quiet machine overall, but... Okay. Let's go back to comparing pricing. So Switch dock, nice. So Switch carrying case. This comes with a screen protector. And, you know, that's not too serious. $10 with the screen protector. So that one's quite a bit different. Did they say if this is plastic or glass? I wonder if it says on Best Buy. It just says to be determined. So it doesn't say if it's glass or if it's plastic. I'm hoping it's glass, but it's probably plastic. Paunch says, I'm really excited about the magnetic Joy-Cons. The magnetic Joy-Cons are so cool. I watched a couple of videos, and I think this one, not this one, the Marcus one I was looking at before. I think at the start of his video, he shows trying to like pull it off. And I watched a video from Nintendo Life where they tried to do the same thing. Where they tried to like yoink the Joy-Cons out of the Joy-Con 2. Love that that is the kickstand. Yeah, they're taking what worked with the OLED and bringing it to Switch 2. Super easy to come out. But I want to see if I'm pretty sure I watched this video earlier today. I'm pretty sure it shows him trying to pull the Joy-Con off. And him not being very successful. If not, I'll go find the Nintendo Life one. I'm glad that there's a USB port on top now. Okay, maybe he doesn't show it in his video. Or maybe that's him doing it right now. But he keeps pressing the button for it. Okay, we'll just go find Nintendo Life. Because Nintendo Life actually has footage of them trying to like yoink it off. I don't remember if it's this early in the video or not, but yeah, so they come out pretty easy. That button on the back's pretty easy to grab, so you shouldn't really have too big of a problem. I do like how big the like ZR/ZL buttons are on top. That's really nice. And I think it's great how much longer they pop out because it makes it a lot more comfortable to hold. Or should. That's a pretty nice image, and seeing it run 30 FPS in handheld mode is awesome. So that's a normal Switch against the Switch 2, which is like, what was it? 1.7 inches bigger than the original Switch, and it's 0.9 inches bigger than the OLED. Because the OLED screen is 7 inches. Apparently that mouse function works on a couch. It works on your jeans, which is good. Now, one of the reasons I really like Nintendo stuff is when they put tech into their hardware, it works. And it very rarely doesn't work. Look at how nice Tears of the Kingdom looks, dude. This is why we're not streaming Tears of the Kingdom. We are holding off for Switch 2, and then we're going to continue our Tears of the Kingdom playthrough. I can't wait. It looks so good. I want them to get to the Joy-Con part, though. I can't imagine I missed it, but maybe I did. I'm psyched for Metroid. I think that's gonna be. I was not very psyched at first when I saw the Switch version, but then I saw more of the like presentations and the Treehouse stuff, and it looked really good. Oh, here they were talking about the microphone or like the speakers, and he's like, well, I could hear the game over a crowded room of like 100 media people and employees and TVs, but like You know, probably I think they said that they couldn't hear it like nitty gritty specific, which would make sense if you're in such a crowded room. I'm just looking for the Joy-Con part. Oh my gosh, look how good that looks, man. It looks really good. It looks really good. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay, I'll just let this play. This is where he tries to literally just like, this is where they try to literally just yank it off. And it's not budging. I do love how it looks like it has like a nice matte finish. That's one of the things I really liked about the DSi. And yeah, the DSi had a really nice matte finish. Yeah, so anyway, they have some footage of them trying to just like yoink the Joy-Con off, and it was not a like super successful endeavor. Now, I don't remember how much pressure they said that they put on the forcing it, but they did say that they used some force trying to just like yank it. I'm sure if you used enough colossal force, you could rip it off. And they said that the magnetization, that when you're snapping it in, it isn't so like snappy that you should injure yourself. But it was really interesting to watch it. So if you want to hear more about what Nintendo Life has to say, go look it up. They do a pretty good job talking about it. Okay, let's keep going down the line. So this is more expensive. I'm really hoping that the reason this is $35 is that it is coming with a glass screen protector instead of plastic. I don't think this is worth the $35 price tag if it's plastic. So I hope it's glass. And then this one kind of surprises me. It's a first-party Nintendo Switch carrying case, or Switch 2 carrying case, which is what this one is for the Switch. You know, it gives you room for the dock, a Pro controller, the system itself, extra Joy-Cons and games, yada, yada, yada. And that looks like what this one is as well. Pro controller. Is that a grip? It is a grip. So you've got place for your 2 Joy-Cons, a grip. This, the dock. It looks like all your cords and stuff go right in the top. This is kind of cool. When you put this in and there's a specific Switch slot. That's nice. When you slip this in here, it's got this nice kind of flip over that will go in here. That's cool. Yeah. And I'm guessing this must be for the... Well, this is a C to C. But this has got to be for the wall adapter, right? Does this have a... I assume it is... Yes, there it is. Ding dong. This is what will come with your Nintendo Switch 2. It's got one of these. That is the perfect shape to just plop right in there. It's got all this extra foam padding. $80. I don't know. I'm not somebody who usually buys cases. I have my... Not up here. But I have my Breath of the Wild metal case. I bought that one at launch. It's been my case through today. I've dropped it several times. It definitely has some like wear and tear. I wouldn't want to buy a cloth case. Something like this is probably okay. This would be nice for like family trips. If I was going to like every year we take a family trip to a lake house. This could be nice for that per se. But given the fact my family is very single use with our Switches. We all have one. We all have our own. That just carrying it in a individualized Switch case is good enough for me. So I'll probably buy something like this. I'll be a little disappointed that there's not going to be any Zelda themed anything. So I'll be on the hunt for that. Let's see. This is $30 and this is USB-C to USB-C. And the other one that Nintendo Switch has is, I think it's $20. And it's not a C to C, it's a wall outlet to C. Which I don't know why I can't find it here. I found it earlier. Oh, because I changed my search results. Here it is. $30. $30. How much was this one? $30. I don't want to hear it. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, exact same price. This is a first party thing, so whatever. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of cases. You get what you pay for. If you want a nice expensive case, you're going to be paying a nice expensive price. Looks like there's a slot for games. Very cool. $35 again. This is the one time I'm going, ew, that might be a little high. Unless it's glass. If this is a glass screen protector, I don't want to hear it. If this is a plastic, flimsy screen protector, I'll give it to you. Overpriced if it's $35. But if it's glass, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Switch 2 dock, again, I actually think this is an okay price. This is $50 to $40 more than the current Nintendo Switch. But it's got a lot more tech going on inside of it. I mean, let's break it down. I mean, the other one came with charging stuff and whatever as well, but this is a $30 price tag. So, like, if we're looking at the other Switch docks where it's like $70 but includes the $30 power adapter, this is really a $40 piece of equipment. And then if we're looking at this, take off $30, it's a $80 piece of equipment. It does 4K output, or like helps do 4K output, has internal cooling. It's whatever. It's fine. $50. I have nothing to say about a camera. I mean, there's built-in stuff going on here, from being able to literally cut yourself out of the background to include the background. Games will utilize this. It has a privacy mode, privacy features. You can use this in tabletop mode. You can use it in docked mode. You can use it in handheld mode. Like, whatever you want to do, it works. It says it has a high image sensor. It can automatically detect faces and brightness. It did show that when it was playing Mario Party Jamboree, even if you've got 4 of you sitting in the same room, it can detect you individually sitting on the couch and still separate all 4 of you as individuals for the game features of the game. So that's kind of cool. Comparable. It will replace the other ones. Cheaper. Again, I don't know why you would buy this or need this per se, because when you buy Joy-Cons, they come with it, but in case you need them, I guess. Cheaper. $17 for Nintendo Switch replacements. $13 for this. Same price. Same price. So just replacing it. $10 more expensive than the current Joy-Cons. What does the current Joy-Con have that these Joy-Cons don't? AR. That's it. And it's an underutilized technology that nobody used. These Joy-Cons are bigger. They have optical sensors inside. They have the new HD Rumble 2, which I hear is quite fancy. These are thicker. These are bigger. These use new joystick. Or not new, but they use different joystick compared to what was in the Switch. But there was a developer interview where they talked about how they built these from the ground up, but Nintendo always builds their controllers from the ground up. New C feature. The new straps, right? Because the new straps come with this. So I guess if you want to gripe, take $13 off the price. There's your Joy-Con. Let's do that. $13. We'll just round it up to 13. This is a $90 piece of equipment. Now it's $77. Joy-Cons are $80 at $17. So we'll call them 17 and 80, and that comes in at 63. So these new Joy-Cons, yeah, are like $10 difference. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Do you need to buy a second set of Joy-Cons at launch? But even if you do, it's $80. And like I said before, trade in your old Switch. If you don't got yourself a Tears of the Kingdom or if you don't have a themed Nintendo Switch, trade it in. Trade it in and soften the blow of buying a new game console. You can go to Rock 30, you can go to mom and pop shops, you can go to GameStop, trade them in. This is $10 more. But again, not only does this one have 2 extra buttons, it also has an audio jack. So it's fine that it's $10 more. It's not that serious. Honestly, the pricing here, not a big deal. Guys want to look at some PS4 price or PS5 pricing? PS5 accessories. I want to look for only from Sony and Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now, pricing for these controllers really depends on your color. As I looked this up earlier and I was surprised that this is the answer. But depending on the color you pick, oddly enough, depends on what price point you're paying. This one I can understand because it's the anniversary colors. But like $75 to $80. There's nothing that crazy in this controller other than its adaptive triggers. That's it. These are more expensive than a Switch 1 controller or just as expensive as a Switch 2 controller. Sony isn't like crazy good with their rumble technology either. They have not evolved it since they got it. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, right. And let's not even talk about Sony's headsets, which are freaking mandatory for if you want to use wireless earbuds with your Portal, you have to have Sony branded headphones. So, you know, $150, $200 earbuds in order to use their like Bluetooth wireless functionality for the dang thing. Oh my gosh. Right, and you can like, right, how much is a PlayStation 5? PlayStation 5 Pro, $700. PlayStation 5, $500. PlayStation Slim, aka no disc drive, same price as a Nintendo Switch 2. And I mentioned this at the start of the stream. People who are more tech savvy than me go out of their way to like track videos online to try to detect what they're being output on and resolution and all that stuff. And they compared Street Fighter 6 on Nintendo Switch 2 versus Street Fighter 6 on a PS4 or PS5 Pro. And they are comparable, which is how they figured out that the Nintendo Switch 2 is doing DLSR or DSLR or whatever you want to call it. Not only that, I have major gripes about Sony like the way Sony designs their operating system. Do you know how much room you need on your Nintendo Switch to download a 10 gig game? This is a serious question. How many gigs of space do you need on your Nintendo Switch to download a 10 gig game? What do you think? What do you think the answer is? If you said 10 gigs or slightly rounded up to like 10.1, 10.5, you're correct. That's how much space you need. You need exactly what you need. 10 gigs, maybe a tish more if it's like 10.1, right? That's what you need. Do you know how much space you need on a PlayStation 5 to download a 50 gig game? This one's a variable answer. It could swing in a couple directions. How much space do you need on your PlayStation 5 to download a 50 gig game? What do you think? What do you think it is? Oh, Timmer says 60 gigs. That I could understand. Nope. It depends on the game. You either need double. If the game wants 50 gigs to download, you need 100 gigs available to 250 gigs available, depending on the game. Some games truly want you to have 5 times the available storage in order to download them. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, 100 gig game. I needed 220 gigs available on my hard drive just to download it, even though it only requires 110 gigs of space. I needed double to install it. It's weird. It's dumb. It's like the worst thing imaginable. It's so nitty gritty and gross that you need double or more the available hard drive space to install anything on it. It's ludicrous. Now let's talk about how some people are losing their minds over game key cards. For those of you who don't know, let's look this up real quick. I'm trying to think of a game that has it. I'll just Google it real quick. What Nintendo Switch games are game key cards? Oh, everyone's just losing their mind over Switch 2, so it's not going to say that. What Nintendo Switch games can be bought physical but must be downloaded? Okay, let's just go look for this. Nintendo Switch, Wolfenstein 2, New Colossus. I'm gonna see if I can find it on Amazon. Great. Okay, this is exactly what I was looking for. The language right at the top. So some people are going crazy over the fact that Nintendo said, hey, some of our games might be game key cards. Ooh. I almost put in my real birthday. Okay, so this one doesn't work because it's digital already, but oh my gosh, you are not helpful. Amazon, I can't even spell Amazon. Find me this game. Perfect. This is what I was looking at. So this game basically is saying that this is a game key card. What that means is you put the game into your system and then you have to download it. Let's see if it says that on here. Kind of surprised there's not like a product description of that. I'm surprised there's no complaints here. Weird. Anyway, all this means is that the game is not on the cartridge. You're buying the game. You stick it in your cartridge. Nintendo Switch goes, got it, and then downloads it. That's all it is. This isn't new. Nintendo, however, has the courtesy to let you know that is the case. Do you know how many games on PlayStation house the entire game on the dual layer Blu-ray disc? Don't bother answering. Most of the games don't house the entire game. They put like a decent chunk on there, then require you to connect to the internet once you install it so that it can download the rest of the game. But there are quite a number of them that the physical disc acts as your physical flag, as if you had bought it through the digital store. But instead of having the digital flag on your system allowing you to just boot it up whenever, you have to put the physical flag, aka the disc, into the system so that you can play it, even though the entire game is fully downloaded right on your system, ready for you to play. Nintendo has also said that Nintendo game keycards are not tied to your user account. So when you put the game in, it connects to the internet and downloads. You don't have to reconnect to the internet in order to verify that you can play it. It's already good to go. And then if you decide to sell it or give it to someone else, the same thing happens to them. You're not able to play it without the game key, without literally having the game card in there. So not a big deal. Nintendo's transparent about it. You know who's not? PlayStation. But also, the thing that's strange to me is Bravely Default Remaster is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. And people are angry at Nintendo for it being a game keycard game. You know who made the decision to make it a game keycard? Square Enix. Talk to Square Enix about your problem. And Nintendo, it's so weird. This is why I started this video with, like, people like to complain about Nintendo like it's a cool fad and it's the great thing to do, like let's dunk on Nintendo as like a hobby. But when you like look at game pricing comparatively, people throw a fit. I've also heard people get real mad about the fact that the Nintendo Switch Tour, which is like a tech demo slash, I've heard some people call it a game manual, which whatever, you can feel however you want about that. It's $10. It's not that bad. It's not that serious. $10 is not a big deal. But some people are really upset because it's not packaged in. Pop quiz. Nintendo has released the NES, the Super NES, the second model Super NES, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Pocket, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance Micro, the Game Boy Advance SP, the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo DSi, the Nintendo DSi XL, the Nintendo 3DS, the Nintendo 3DS XL, the new Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS XL, the Wii, the remodel, the no Joy-Con, the no GameCube model, the Wii U, the Switch, the Virtual Boy, the GameCube, the N64, and the Switch 2. How many of those consoles did not come bundled with a game at launch? Do you know? I know because I did all the research for this earlier today. The answer is 5. There are 5 platforms Nintendo has released that did not include a game or some type of freemiumware with it. And that would be the N64, which some data varies because it's pretty difficult to find data on this now, but I saw conflicting data of it came with nothing and it came with Mario 64. I'm pretty sure it came with nothing. I did exist when this came out and I was like 10 when it came out, and I'm pretty sure it came with nothing. And that's what my data found, but I did find one conflicting source that said something different. It is worth noting that different regions and different territories can sometimes get different launch bundles. But N64, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, the Switch 1, and the Switch 2 are the only devices released by Nintendo that did not include some type of freeware with it. The NES released with 2 controllers, and they specifically released it with 2 controllers, so you could play multiplayer right out of the box. And it came with Mario Bros. Super Nintendo, same thing, but came with Super Mario World. Virtual Boy came with Mario Tennis. Game Boy came with Tetris. The DS came with a bunch of DS-ware. Same with the 3DS, came with 3DS-ware on it. The Wii came with Wii Sports. Wii U came with Nintendo Land. Yeah, they all came with something. Do you know how many consoles Sony has released that came with a day one bundle game? Just one. And it's PlayStation 5 with Astro's Playroom. Not PS1, not PS2, not PS3, not PS4, not PS Vita, not PSP, not PSP Go, not any of the Slim versions or any of the Pro versions. They literally have never bundled any of their stuff with a game except PS5. They also never include extra controllers like Nintendo does. Do you know how many consoles Microsoft has released that included a game bundle? Spoilers, it's the same answer as PlayStation. 1, it was the original Xbox and it came with Halo. But they also never bundle it with extra controllers for multiplayer or anything like that. So why does everyone throw a hissy fit because Nintendo didn't include a $10 game with their thing? If you don't want it, don't buy it. The end. Like the end. When PlayStation announced that they were raising their prices of video games from $50 to $60, you know who didn't do it immediately? Nintendo. Microsoft did. Microsoft jumped with the price. Nintendo didn't. When Sony raised their price of video games from 60 to 70, guess who joined them? Microsoft. Guess who was the last one to join them? Nintendo. How many different editions of games can you get on the Nintendo Switch that vary out of it? That's like $60 price tag. Not many. Unlike PlayStation and Xbox, which regularly gives you multi-versions that cost you $70 to get your foot in the door to $100+. You get where I'm going with this? Like, Nintendo has been routinely most of your childhoods and most of your lives giving you freemium content, extra controllers, and whatever else. When the 3DS launched at its $250 price tag, and it didn't do very well, they dropped the price and gave every 3DS owner a special ambassador tag to go on their 3DS, which got them special Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy games that never came out on the platform for anybody. Only the ambassadors were able to get that. And that was a thank you for supporting our product when other people didn't. Here's a special little yada yada thing for you. Here's a special little plaque you can put on your 3DS home screen. Nintendo like regularly does right by the consumer base, and people just don't want to talk about it or they throw a fit. Do you remember when the N64 came out and you'd play games like Mario Party or whatever and it would tear up the skin in your palm? Did you know that Nintendo released a basically patch? If you reached out to them and you sent in your N64 controller, they would modify it to have the same type of grip that exists on the Game Boy, not the Game Boy, the GameCube controller, that same kind of silicone that goes on top of it, for free. When everyone and their grandmother decided that they're too smart to use a wrist strap for their Wii and they started throwing Wii remotes across the room because they have a high IQ, what did Nintendo do? They started including the Wii remote grip, but also you could just go to their website and go, I need 5. And they'd be like, sounds good, and send them to you for free. The Switch shenanigans. It's notorious that the left Joy-Con's Hall sensor has Joy-Con drift. Do they charge you for it? Do they make you pay for shipping? They don't. They send you a label, tell you to take it to UPS. You send it to Nintendo. They work on it, and in a week or 2 or less, I've gotten controllers back in like 3 days, which is crazy because the warehouse that they work on it in is several states away from me. But I've gotten controllers back in less than a week. I sent in my Switch to get repaired for like a fan issue, and I got it back in 4 days. Like, they don't charge you for shipping. They don't charge you for the repair. You can send in multiple Joy-Cons at once and go, hey, I've got 4 left Joy-Cons that need to be fixed. You send them in. They fix them for free. You know who doesn't do that? Sony and Microsoft. You got controllers that don't work. Bummer, bro. You're paying. My $80 Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Aegis controller, I had it for like 5 years. And then one of my kids bit it and threw it on the floor, and the Joy-Con broke. Or not the Joy-Con, the analog broke. I reached out to Nintendo and was like, hey, this isn't under warranty, but like, can I send this in to get fixed? And I had to pay well, they were really little, like really, really little. So like, I left my controller on the couch and they're like a baby, and picked it up and went, It wasn't like my 9-year-old, my 8-year-old picked up my Pro controller and started chewing on it. It was a baby. But yeah, so I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, I just need this controller fixed. And they fixed it for like, you couldn't buy you can't buy the Aegis controllers anymore. They're $80 anyway. But if I wanted to buy another one, scalpel pricing and not available pricing would have made it a $120 controller. They charged me $25 and sent me a brand new Aegis controller. When my Tears of the Kingdom OLED got a crack, like a chip in the middle of the screen, they were like, it's a $150 repair. I was like, yeah, I can't pay that. They lowered the repair cost to $100. And I sent it in. They fixed it in less than a week and sent me my Switch back. When we bought Rosh's Animal Crossing Switch, its fan inside of it constantly was making a like buzzing sound. Sent it in, fixed it for free, got it back in a week. Like, there are so many things Nintendo just does right by customer service, but for some reason, everyone wants to be the cool kid and thinks it's like the coolest hobby to just like dunk on Nintendo. Sony and Xbox have god-awful customer service. They're not great with repairs. There's so many like horror stories I hear of them just being like, oh, that's a you problem, not an us problem, so we're not going to fix it. Bummer, bro. Too bad, buddy. Too bad. Ponch says, this is news to me. I have Joy-Cons such as in. Yeah, send them in. Just here, I'll show you what to do right now. Go Nintendo Joy-Con repair. See, look, right there. Set up a repair. You come in here. You log in with whatever you have. We'll just say guest. Pick your country. I live in the United States. I live in... Nope, we'll just not pick that one. I live here. What's your symptom? And then you pick unable to attach. Control stick on the Joy-Con feels loose. Right or left stick's not responding on the Joy-Con or responds properly, aka Joy-Con drift. Physical damage. Buttons are not responding. So we'll just do this. Left Joy-Con. You know, and then you pick whatever your color is, right? We'll just say, I don't know, purple. That's funny. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. What's up? So, you know, you can come in here and you pick whatever your color is. Neon pink, pastel pink, brown. You know, which green do you got? Which red do you got? Which gray do you got? You pick whatever. You pick whatever, right? Oh, I had to send it. That's right. I had to send in my Zelda Joy-Con too because it had drift. You say, and you know, if you got another one, yeah, I have 2 Joy-Cons. Same thing. It's the left Joy-Con. It's white. I don't know. Whatever. Then you hit continue. It will cost you nothing. You hit continue, then you give them whatever you need to give them. They will send you a shipping label to your email. You take it to UPS, say, hey, I need to return this. They put it in a box. They get it all ready to go. I think there are things you're supposed to follow. You are supposed to put each Joy-Con in like a sandwich bag individually. Don't put them together. You put them in a snack bag, sandwich bag, whatever. Put them in a box or like a bubble mailer. Take it to UPS. They send it off for you. They do your repair. They send it back to you completely free. Completely free. See, and even this, you can be like, well, my Joy-Con doesn't. My Joy-Con, like, I need to send my son's Joy-Cons in for this exact reason. They like keep detaching. Yep, continue. Still free. Because the like plastic in like the Joy-Con rails are made of plastic and they wear out. Especially when you play in handheld mode, they just naturally wear out. So they fix it for free. Literally, like nobody else fixes your controllers for free. So like this is part of the reason why I get really annoyed when people sit here and, we're a family-friendly channel. Try to use the correct language. They just sit here and complain, and they don't think about like the grander scheme of Nintendo. They fix Joy-Cons for free. They have fast turnaround. They've got good customer service. There's a lot of great things that go on at Nintendo, and a lot of the time they build their products to last. Like I've seen so many people be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid that this right here is going to break. It's kids are going to break this." Bro, I had a friend who dropped his GameCube out of his moving truck and it bounced around on the road for several miles and it looked like someone beat it to hell with a hammer. Still play games. No problem. My original 3DS, I threw it out of a... My original 3DS, I genuinely believe that thing was basically indestructible. And when I bought a second 3DS, I put it through the ringer. And I would do stuff like I accidentally left it on the exhaust of my stove. Like older stoves, when you bake inside of it, there's like an exhaust pipe behind one of the burners, which heat comes out of. Didn't know that. And my 2DS or my DS was sitting on top of it, and I melted the bottom part of it. Still worked. I threw it in the freezer and froze it. Then took it out and like plugged it in, turned it on while it was still frozen. Still worked. I still have it. Actually, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, still got it. Now, part of the reason why this is stained yellow is I had this when I was still in high school, and I lived at my parents' house, and everyone in that house was a chain smoker, so it's a little off yellow. Melted from when I left it on the stove. This hinge is broken because I threw it out of a car window. It's all scuffed and beat up because, like, I would tell people that, like, yeah, so you can see the inside of it. It's pretty beat up. But, like, I would tell people that, like, it's pretty beat up. I haven't charged this in such a long time, but it uses a Game Boy Advance SP charger, so I've got one of those lying around. I bet I could charge this and get it to work. I bet if I charge it, it would turn on. But I froze it. I threw it out of a car moving 30 miles an hour. It bounced across the street. Like, I closed it, threw it out the window just to prove it would still work. We went and picked it up. I opened it and went right back to playing Fire Emblem. I would, like, play it at school, and people would be like, I bet you won't drop it on the floor. And I'd close it. Like, I wouldn't even close it sometimes. I just let go of it, and it's crack on the floor, and I'd just pick it back up and keep playing. My friend had a PSP, and if you, like, jarred it a little bit, it would, like, crack it. And I, like, took my DS, and I was like, look, still works. Still works fine. Yeah, I put this thing through, like, heck. And swear on my life, those of you who know my friend Scoompoof, he streams on Twitch as well. He is the friend I hung out with at the time. Still worked. Still worked. I used to, like, always carry it around. I, like, would carry it in my pocket or, like, my leg, and several times I was punched or kicked. People would punch or kick my DS and be like, oh, my hand hurts, I punched. What the heck's in your pocket? And I'd be like, my DS, man. So, like, Nintendo builds products that work. Not to mention, I have 4 Nintendo Switches in my house. Or 5 Nintendo Switches. No, 4. 4 Nintendo Switches. 2 of them belong to children. And I have watched these children. Now, they're still learning technology, so no judging. But I have watched them be bit, punched, thrown on the floor, stomped on, kicked, dropped on the floor, dropped outside. Guess what? They all still work. Gabby says my 3DS got so old the hinges broke and the whole top screen fell off. The only thing that I ever had happen with my 3DS, other than I would show you, but I have it put away. I have about 11 3DSs over the lifespan of the 3DS, many of which I gave away. I think I only ever sold one, and I might have actually sold it to Paunch. Because at the time we were just like barely acquaintances, but now we're friends. So if we had been friends at the time, like actually like talked to each other and hung out friends, I would have just gave it to him for free. But I don't think I sold it to you for too much. I think it was like I sold you a 3DS for like $50. I think I sold it really cheap because I wanted it to just go to somebody who was going to use it. Yeah, you still have it. Yeah. I bought 11, and I always gave them away. Like I bought the original model, then I bought the X. I bought the original model. I bought they came out with like a second model or something. I bought one for Rosh because we were dating. Then I bought one for her dad. Then they came out with the XLs, and I bought one for me, one for Rosh, one for her dad. That's 6 right there. Then I bought a Zelda one. I bought another Zelda one. I bought a Zelda one. Then I bought the new one. Then they came out with a new Zelda one. So 3, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I bought 10 3DSs. And I mostly gave them all away. I always said I passed them out to underprivileged adults. Because like I think several of the 3DSs that exist in my wife's side of the family were hand-me-downs from me. And I think when I bought people upgraded ones, because I did buy my wife one, I bought her dad one, I might have bought someone else an upgrade. And my condition always was, I'm giving you this 3DS upgrade, and you either A, need to give me the old one, or B, you need to give it away to someone else. You're not allowed to sell it. You have to give it away or return the other version to me, and I'll give it away to somebody. I don't know why that's what I was, but I was like Santa Claus with the 3DS. I was like Oprah with 3DSs. You get a 3DS, you get a 3DS, you get a 3DS. I bought a lot, man. I bought 10 3DSs. I'm pretty sure. No, I did buy 11. No, oh my gosh. I bought 13. I bought 13 3DSs because I also bought one for a capture card. And then I bought one for my dad for Christmas. And GameStop was doing a buy 2, get 1 of equal value or less. So I went and bought 2 used 3DS XLs, new 3DS XLs, and they gave me a third one for free. So yeah, I bought 13 3DSs over the like lifetime of the 3DS. That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot the final 3 I bought at the end. And I gave a 3DS to my sister, and I gave a 3DS to my dad. So yeah, 13 3DSs I bought, and all that time I only sold one. And if I had been as good of friends with Paunch as I am today, I would have just gave it to him for free, but I'm pretty sure I like sold it to him derp cheap. He said he still has it. That's super cool. I think it was my old blue one. But I don't 100% remember what color. I think the launch colors were black, blue, and something else. But yeah, so Nintendo, it was black. Okay. I must have been mine then. I know at some point I think I bought my wife's dad a blue one. And when I bought him the XL, I think he gave his to his brother, or he gave it to me first and then asked for it back so he could give it back. Timmer says, thanks, Chuck. I still have mine. Some Castlevania covering. Nice. Yeah, I gave away a lot. I think most on my family side of the family probably ended up with a 3DS from me in some capacity. Because, gosh, how many 3DSs do I specifically have 3 3DSs. I have the Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds edition. I have that put in storage. I have the Majora's Mask edition. That one was so cool because I was running local video game stuff here in town. For those who don't know, I used to run a local organization called Iron Boots. We did local tournaments for Mario Kart, just putting events together for families to come out and play video games. We used to do stuff at conventions. And then for 2 years, I ran a Smash Brothers circuit. Worst year of my life. I'll never host Smash Brothers ever again. But the rest of it was really cool. And the guy who was the store manager of the local GameStop, I was sitting in his parking lot at 6 a.m. and he comes and knocks on my window and he goes, Chuck, are you here to pre-order the Majora's Mask new 3DS XL? And I'm like, you know it. He's like, just come inside with me right now. We'll do it right now. He let me in the store 2 hours early to pre-order before anybody else. That was super cool, man. That was really, really nice. And there was another guy who, this is when I worked at GameStop. I worked at GameStop for about a year, but I only truly worked every once in a while. And this guy also knew I ran local events, and he hired me so he could fill his roster. So I got a GameStop like discount, but then didn't affect anybody's like hours because they had to have so many hired employees, but the employees would have to like fight each other for hours. And I just got hired on the roster, so I got to use a GameStop discount. And very rarely did I actually work there. But I was the Nintendo guy of the store. Everybody else played PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, but I was the Nintendo dude. But I didn't work too much. I will say somebody came in, and all those like crazy exaggerated like GameStop stories you probably hear about customers asking crazy questions. Somebody came in and asked me for the new Pokemon Sun and Moon game, and they wanted to play it on their PlayStation 3. And despite my best efforts of trying to explain what console exclusivity is, and how a Game Boy or how a 3DS cartridge won't work on a PlayStation 3 console, they did not understand that. So there's some pretty crazy stories out there. But anyway, that's where I'm sitting with the Nintendo Switch 2 pricing. I think it's fine. I think everything's fine. There's been some miscommunication about the price of games as well. I saw things floating around out there that's like, oh, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to offer $80 digital games but $90 physical games, and that's not true. Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart World is an $80 game, but Donkey Kong is a $70 game, regardless of if you buy physical or digital. Nintendo has like come out and said this, like Doug Bowser, who's the current president of Nintendo of America, and Bill Trinan, for those who don't remember, he works at Nintendo, but he deals a lot with like marketing and pricing type stuff. And they do variable pricing based upon like the content in the game. Okay, here's a good example. We all know how big Breath of the Wild is, right? Pretty dang big game. Pretty solid game. $60. Then after like 6 years, they dropped it to $40. But then Tears of the Kingdom comes along, and it's even bigger than Breath of the Wild. You all know that. You guys watch me play it. You see me play it. You'll see me play it again when Switch 2 comes out. We play the upgraded version. Yo, let's go. Anyway, $70 game. It's one of the only $70 Nintendo Switch games. Mario Kart 8's coming along. $90 or $80 game. All the rest of the games. Like I think Best Buy showed me a couple Switch 2 games that you could start pre-ordering. Okay, see, look, Rune Factory, $70. Grand Bazaar, $60. Okay, I gotta sneak a peek at this one though, so I'll do that later. Brand new game, $70. Or you can get whatever this is for $80. Placeholder, $80. Donkey Kong, $70. Like people are going bananas and like not doing the like most simplest of Google searches. And this doesn't even have all the games. This isn't even everything. Because Cyberpunk is $70. So like, chill, people. These games are on par with pricing of the PlayStation 5, and given the fact that the Nintendo Switch 2 may very well be getting pretty dang close to what the PS5 outputs on a TV, $70 ain't nothing. I am psyched to see the $60. Now, give me a second here to nerd out. What's coming in this edition? Ooh, I am a sucker for a soundtrack. Ooh, I'm a sucker for an art book. And a little sheepy. A little sheepy. That's cute. Probably not going to buy this version. How much more is it, though? 20 more bucks. 20 more bucks for a soundtrack, art book, plushie, cloth poster, box. I'm just saying, it's not that much. It's not that much. 20 bucks more and you get a bunch of little goodies. I'll probably buy the normal version though. Looking cool though. Looking cool. This doesn't come out till August. But this Room Factory comes out launch day. But I'll also say this. If you don't want to pay $70 for video games, do this. Go to gamefly.com. Get a free trial. Love it. And then get an account. Not sponsored, by the way, but I've been a long time fan of Gamefly. I promoted them a ton on this channel. They're amazing. And I haven't used them in a while, but I think I'm going to with Switch 2 coming out, because Rune Factory games are quite the pendulum swing in terms of quality. So it might be a game I want to rent first, and if I like it, I can say I want to keep it. Then they'll ship me the box out and everything like that. Now, normally I'd log in and show you how all this stuff works, but I don't want to do that. But you can come in here and you can rent or you can buy. They have a shop. You can get a free trial. I think it's 2 weeks. Or if you want to just sign up, it's like $17 a month. Not that bad. And you can rent games. Now, you might be asking yourself, Chuck, tell me more about renting games. What does that mean? So when you set up an account, you choose the systems that you have. Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, whatever it is. You say what you've got. And then when you log in, they show you the dashboard, like almost like a movie dashboard, kind of like this, to be like, here's PlayStation. Here's Nintendo Switch 2. They show you the games that are coming out. And when you have an account, rather than click free trial, you can go add to queue. Now, if it's a game that's already out, and for those of you who may be a little bit older, you will find this similar to how Netflix used to work. When you would use Netflix to rent movies, they would just mail you DVDs, right? It's very similar. You pick a queue. You can even customize the queue a little bit, being like, bro, my number one game. I don't want anything but my number one game, so send me nothing. You can literally set it to be, send me nothing but my number one game. Or you can say, I want my number one game. Wait 1 to 2 days. Wait 3 to 4 days. Wait a week. If it doesn't come in, send me the next game on my list. Because anytime in that window, someone else who's renting the game could return it. Then they just ship it back out to you. Now, back in the day, it used to be, if this is my video game that I rented from GameFly, I'd turn it into the mail or drop it in my post box, which was honestly worse. But you put it in the mail or your post box, and the mailman or mailwoman picks it up. They take it to the post office, beep, scan it in. It takes the center for me usually takes about 3 days for the mail to get there. Once they have it in the warehouse, they go beep. And then the system automatically goes, all right, send him the next game on the list. He just returned Pokemon 2. Send him Geodude's electric shoes. And they go, got it. And so incoming, receives it. The next day, outcoming, sends it out. But they changed it. This is a new feature, and at the time. Now, for the record, I have a good standing account. And I've always had a good standing account because I am not a criminal, nor am I a liar. So I always return my things when I say I'm going to return them. But they started to change the system. It started to be that you could say you've returned it on the website and been like, I returned this. And then they really pay attention. They really pay attention for the USPS to scan it. And as soon as the scan would come in and you said you returned it, they would immediately send out your very next game. And so your games would sort of pass each other in transit. So I was getting games like every 2 days, anytime I returned a game. One time I checked out a game, played it for 20 minutes, went, nope, I hate it. And I walked back outside, dropped it in my mailbox, clicked, I'm returning this. And the next day they shipped out the next game on my queue. It hadn't even been picked up. Hadn't even been picked up yet out of my mailbox. But I said, nope, I'm returning this. And they shipped out the next one. And mailman picked it up, left. Next day they brought me my next game. My only complaint at the time was, it's so difficult to get newer games. It used to be that if you were trying to put a brand new game coming out in your queue, it came on a first come, first serve basis, which sort of meant that the longer you have your account, the more likely you're going to get it. So it would be as soon as it goes on the website, you say you want it, you and everybody else, depending on which order of this first come, first reserve you came in, depends on when you're going to get your game. But then you'd also be waiting for people to return it and hope that they don't buy it, because if they buy it, then GameFly has to go buy new copies if they're going to buy new copies, kind of thing. But now they changed it. Now, when you pay for your membership, every so often, I haven't had a subscription since they updated this, so I don't know the inner details of it, but they added another feature that was every so often you can say, nope, I want it. Guarantee it. And they added some kind of new guarantee feature in relation to newer games coming out. Or sort of like skip the line, like you're in the normal queue, but you're like, no, I need this game now, bro. Spam. You like hit the stamp button, metaphorically, of course, and then it pops you to like the top or into a special queue. Then the old schematics of like, well, if 100 people all say this is the game they gotta have, then it becomes a, who said that they need it first kind of thing. But it is kind of neat that you can do it to jump the line for some games. But they also added a feature at the time where it used to be when you would have anytime you renewed your subscription, you got like $5 to the store or like 15% off in the store. Not a great perk. And one of the things that really sucked is you couldn't stack any of that stuff. At some point, they regularly send out like customer surveys to like get feedback and like, how can we make this better value for you? One of my suggestions was stack the $5 off options, bro. Like, let me stack them. If I'm going to subscribe to GameFly for a year at $17 or whatever, and you're going to give me a $5 voucher every 3 months, let me save them up and buy a $60 game. And they're like, yeah, sounds good. And so I was like, dang, that's nice. that's pretty cool. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to pay $70 for a game, I get it. Games are expensive. Games are a luxury hobby. $17 a month to GameFly. You rent the game. You play it. You don't have a due date. The only time you have to return the game is if you cancel your account. Then they're going to go send the game back. If you don't send it back in X amount of days, we're charging you full price for it. But if you send it back, no big deal. And it's not a big deal. At $17, you can rent one game at a time. You can have I don't know if you can have as many games in your queue as you want, but you can have, I think I had my queue up to 10 for a while. And they'll send you the games. You like them? Keep them. And they're cheaper than used games. Like, no kidding. It's been a while since I've checked this, but I rented Triangle Strategy when it came out. $60 games, Nintendo Switch. If I wanted to keep it, it was like $45. I just had to pay them $45 to keep the game, and then they would just ship me the box and whatever else, would come in the original packaging type stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And like the more games you rent and buy, because when you look at it, you're like, oh, $45 that you pay $17, that's still like paying full price. Yeah, sure. But every time I rent and choose to buy a game, it's cheaper than the used price. and I'm just retaining more value from my like membership. Also, maybe I don't want to buy a game. Maybe I just want to rent it and then send it back. Heck, even if you rent it for 2 months, like let's say you rent a story game, you rent it for 2 months, you pay $34. That's still not 70 up front. Right? So there's lots of good value in GameFly. I cannot recommend it enough. Immense value. They're constantly improving the site, constantly improving the user experience, and just finding better ways to stay competitive and to get more value out of your dollars. They also do movies if that's your jam. They do have other plans to rent more than one game at a time. So I don't quote me because I don't know what the pricing is, and I don't know if this will tell me unless I literally try to like sign in or set an account up. Here, give me 2 seconds. Let's see if I can sign into my old account. Gosh, I don't remember any of this. I'll see if I can reset my password so I can sort of look at this for you. I honestly recommend you if you're somebody who wants to play more games but you don't want to buy them per se, you really should check out GameFly. It is like a good value. It is not expensive. Oh, I got I got email from Best Buy being like, "Oh, we're actually not starting these pre-orders." I thought GameFly was under this email. Maybe it was under a different one. Well, no, it is this email, but maybe they deactivated my account because I haven't used it in 5 years. Could be. Could be. Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can set up an account. Oh, watch it. I'm streaming here. All right, so check this out. So you can do a 30-day free trial for $0. Try it out for 30 days. You can get unlimited games and movies. Game lock. That's what I was talking about. Every 30 day you can do a game lock. Self-return. This is what I was talking about. You have to have an account for 6 months first to like prove that you like are a decent customer. But once you do that, you can do self-return, which means you tell them you've returned the game. They believe you, and then they send you out the next one. Right? These are cool. So this one's cool. You can try it for 3 months for like $6 off. Like almost $6.50 off. $11.50. That's not a bad deal, guys. Almost $12 after tax probably per month, and you get all this stuff. That's really cool. 2 rentals at a time. Oh yeah. See, so it's 17. So it's like $18 usually per month for 1 rental, or for like $8 more, you can do 2 games at a time, and then it's 25. What's the difference here? Oh, I guess you can do the elite pack, which gets you access to early sales, but this is cool. This is cool. They actually have a budget version. You don't get game lock or any of these other features, but for $11 a month, you can still rent games. That's cool. $11 a month, you can just flat out rent games and movies with a queue or whatever, or you can try it out for 3 months at $7. That's a really good deal. That's like a steal, man. That's really good. I'd probably do this one personally because I like game lock and I like self-return, but whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could try it out. That's cool. Oh, they have a movies only version, which is like a lot cheaper. But games and movies, you know, that's the one that's a good one because you can do games. Yeah, let's see. This is what I'm talking about. Like, yeah. I want to buy the game I'm currently renting? Yes, we offer a keep option for many of our titles at a discount. It really is at a discount, and it's oftentimes cheaper than buying the game used. So if it's available, you click the keep button in your queue, and then you just keep it. You pay the price, and then they send it to you. The longer you stay with Gamefly, the better rewards you get. On your first paid month, you get 5% off on all used products, and a 5% coupon on accessories. At 3 months, this goes to 10, and you get 5 Gamefly dollars every 3 months you're a member. And at 6 months, you bump up to 25. That's cool. A 25% coupon on a keep purchase. That means you rent a game and you want to keep it. 25% off. That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Gamefly. I love it. I think I'm probably gonna re-up here. Probably somewhere around here, and I'm gonna game lock Rune Factory. So that they can mail it to me and I don't have to I can try it out before I buy it, because Rune Factory games kind of swing on a pendulum in terms of quality. But anyway, that's my 2 hours of not playing video games and talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 pricing. I hope you guys found that interesting and engaging. That's just kind of where I stand, man. That's where I stand. I'm getting real like grumpy about people saying that the Switch 2 is insanely overpriced, and watching people get angry about game key cards when they don't understand what game key cards are. And we went over a lot of information today. We did a lot of comparisons to PlayStation and Xbox. We talked about the current accessories. We covered a lot of stuff, but I hope you guys found it helpful. That being said, I don't know what to stream. I can't talk about Switch 2 pricing every day until the Switch 2 comes out. There's a Mario Kart Tour Direct, a Mario Kart World Direct coming out next Thursday. I don't know what to stream though. I got a couple ideas. I can keep playing Skyrim and just try to beat the story. Most of you guys seem to be enjoying Skyrim. I could do that. I could play Balatro. I'm still trying to beat the last. I'm trying to beat Orange Steak on my Ghost deck, and then I will have unlocked every deck in the game. Ponch, thank you so much for coming back in and subscribing. I really appreciate it, buddy. It's always good to see you. I'm sad I can't send you TikToks, but it's so cool when you do come in. I really appreciate you sharing your time with me tonight. I thought about trying to beat Minecraft, like get to the Ender Dragon and beat it before Switch 2 comes out, because I've never done that. I don't know. I don't know what to stream. Ooh, before you go. Hold on. If you're still there, don't leave. Don't leave yet. Ponch, I'm talking to you. If you didn't know, and I really want to tell this to you, I started making YouTube content. I made my first actual YouTube sort of like let's play challenge content recently. And I gotta say, I thought this video would get no more than 10 views. Truly. I thought it would get no more than 10 views. But it has over 400 now. And this video is less than a week old. It seems like a couple people dislike it. Whatever, that's YouTube. A couple people commented on it, which feels pretty cool. I'm pretty happy. I thought this would get 2 to 10 views at most. But I got a nice. Oh, hold on. It's not showing anything. I got a nice little steady uptick here. I've gained 10 new subscribers. They just had their phones upside down and thought they were pressing the like button. It's fine. Like, it's YouTube. We all know how it goes. You know, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to make content everybody likes. You know, you like it, you don't like it, whatever. I am looking for feedback, though. So if you are somebody who wants to watch this kind of stuff, I'd appreciate it if you do check it out. But if YouTube's not your jam, okay, don't go subscribe to my channel. Don't. You're just going to kill me. You're going to hurt my channel if you don't watch YouTube content. But if you do, or you want to like see original content that I'm working on for the channel, this is my like first Let's Play video. And, you know, can I beat a lion at the start of the game and get its sword? I can only use the first weapon I see. And that's the new Breath of the Wild Nuzlocke challenge I'm doing. I'm still learning how to edit. I am actually quite proud of what I put together here. I have some other videos out that are like me talking about, oh, let's dig apart this trailer and see what we can find. Let's dig apart this trailer. You know, the joke of like, oh, Chuck took a 1-minute trailer and made a 20-minute video out of it. You know, both of those have over 100 views, which I am like stoked by. They got to like 10 views and I went, okay, bye. And then I happened to like notice earlier today that they both cracked 100. That feels really cool. That feels super neat. I ended up getting like 10 more subscribers, I think. Oh, I got another one. When I looked at this before this video came out, I was sitting at 73, and now I'm almost at 100. Like, that's so cool. So I'm feeling really motivated. Tonight, after this, I might record the next leg of this challenge run. I was going to wait till Switch 2, but seeing these stats for it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess maybe I should make episode 2 and not wait for the Switch 2. But so it's either going to be tonight. My voice is pretty hoarse, though, because I've been talking for a straight 2 hours. I might save this for tomorrow, but I am gonna work on this. I'm going to try to shoot it and edit it and get it all done by Friday. I would like these Breath of the Wild videos to come out every Friday. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I was really excited. I'm feeling really proud of what I put together. Please, if you will, now you don't have to, okay? I know most of you are just here for live content and to spend time with me, which I appreciate. But if you want to watch me do a new original Breath of the Wild challenge that I've not done on this channel before, the challenge is any weapon, shield, or bow I see for the first time when I get into a region, that's what I have to use. I'm not allowed to upgrade any of my weapon or shield or bow slots, and whatever I see first is what I have to do. It's completely original for YouTube. I've not streamed this before. I've not done this challenge before. I've never been asked to do this challenge before. So it's completely original for YouTube. You've never seen it before. So if you're interested, please go check it out. I also would love to receive constructive feedback. I would love to receive constructive feedback on things that you think I should tweak, things that maybe didn't land the way I thought they would, anything you thought was funny or that you thought was good. I would love that feedback just so I can use it for the next video. I'm still learning how to edit. I was using an editing software called Descript, which was a browser editor. Now I'm using DaVinci Resolve. And I'm not a video editor. I don't typically like doing it. For the record, I shot 2 hours of Breath of the Wild footage, and it took me 4 hours to edit it, which is not that bad, honestly. That's pretty good. But between shooting the video, editing the video, making the thumbnails, coming up with a description, because I made this thumbnail completely by myself. This was all me. I did it in Canva. I went and got my own assets. This cutout of Link was a hassle because I couldn't find a cutout of him. Like, I couldn't find a cutout of Link, so I had to take a... Why are you so blurry? Are you still loading? I had to take a screenshot from my Switch, send it to my computer. I downloaded GIMP 2, and then learned how to actually remove the background. And I did a pretty good job. I did a pretty good job of cutting the background off of Link. This is the outfit I was wearing in the game. Like this is literally the clothes I had on Link. So I didn't like take this from anybody else. Like this is straight up from my own playthrough. When I went and saw one of the memories, and dude, I am proud of it. Like I went and got these off YouTube and then kind of rearranged them up here or whatever. I'm pretty proud of it. Like I worked really hard on this, and from start to finish, I'd say I probably put 8 hours into the production of this video, from shooting and editing and doing my own like GIMP edit, like doing my own picture editing and thumbnail creation and description writing and yada yada yada. Probably 8 hours to do the whole thing. So I'm really proud of it. I'm gonna work really hard to try to get this out. Friday. So what might end up happening is I'm gonna try to shoot the footage for this tomorrow, start editing it tomorrow, finish editing it Thursday after stream. Unless Thursday you guys want to watch me edit a video. Because I really don't know what to do for live content till Switch 2 comes out. And then I'll try to get it uploaded on Friday so that I can try to make this like a weekly video kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to, please check it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love constructive feedback. I'd love to know what jokes you thought were funny or what things you thought were stupid. Anything like that, I'd really, really appreciate it. But all right, that's enough for me. I'm gonna get out of here for the night. Thank you so much, everybody who hung out, who followed, who joined the channel. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great night. I'll see you on Thursday. Have a good one. We'll see you in a couple days. Bye.